You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. Chris Voss here from the Chris Voss Show, thechrisvossshow.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a man who eats chicken wings with chopsticks. I'm your host, Chris Voss. Welcome to the Big Chris Voss Show. We certainly appreciate that. Anyway, guys, you know the drill. As always, we're talking to incredible CEOs, entrepreneurs, as we will be today, talking about a lot of cool things about building businesses and being a great CEO. On top of that, remember, it's a holiday season. You're watching this 10 years from now going, Chris, it's May. No, but right now it's holiday season for now. And, this show is pre-recorded if you're watching 5 years from now. Check your YouTube date before you leave a comment, please, because I hate that when you people do that. But thanks for watching. Go to youtube.com/Chris Voss. Tell your family to at that big Christmas dinner. Give the gift that keeps on giving at Christmas. Package them up a little certificate to iTunes to subscribe to the Chris Voss Show. That or just grab their phone and subscribe for them. Also go to our big LinkedIn groups, 130,000 people over there on LinkedIn. The big LinkedIn newsletter, the big LinkedIn company group that's over there. That thing, we just sent out a newsletter on that and didn't have any idea. There's a whole bunch of people following that thing. And go check out all of our properties that we have all over the internet. You can stalk us wherever we are, all the big Facebook groups as well. Today, we have an amazing CEO on the show. We're going to be talking to him about a lot of stuff he does. There's going to be a lot crammed in this show, so you're going to definitely want to stay tuned and watch past the first 5 minutes. He is Brian J. Esposito. He is ranked the world's top 10 CEOs, or among the top 10 CEOs. You're like, how there's 10 of them? He's ranked among the world's top 10 CEOs for 2020, 2021, and 2023 in the World CEO Rankings by Adria Management, LLC. He is the founder and CEO of Esposito Intellectual Enterprises, LLC, an award-winning serial entrepreneur and business leader. He is recently renowned for being a core part of an innovation team to build Noodle? Is it Noodle or Noodle?
Nodal.
Oh, I was completely off. See, I went to public school. The world's largest wireless network and ecosystem of connected devices, and as well as Turncoin. Is that the correct pronunciation? Because there's 2 R's in there.
You got it.
There you go. Turncoin. A registered SEC digital security that on a monthly basis shares 100% of 3 revenue generated from the exchange's virtual stacks platform to all Turncoin holders. And there's 1 R in that one. So yes. Is there 1 R or 2 R's?
There's 1 R, so I don't know what you're reading, but
somebody. So were you the bio you sent me on the email?
Oh boy. I'm to blame. I'm to blame on that.
I've done that. Turncoin is the only revenue sharing digital security that derives its value and yield from the sale of virtual stacks. So we'll get into some of the details of the rest of the stuff. Welcome to the show, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing good, Chris. Thanks for having me today.
There you go. And thanks for coming on board. Give us your .coms where you want people to find you on those interwebs in the sky, the magic ones.
Absolutely. I don't have as many as you have out there, but it's EIE.rocks is the corporate site. So EIE.rocks. And then anybody can always reach out to me or connect with me directly at Brian J. Esposito. And I basically only use LinkedIn or Twitter for all of my social and communications with our companies and anybody that wants to speak with me.
There you go. And thanks to Ming for the comments. He's got the .com right, or the .rocks right in there for us. There you go. It's almost like people watch the show live. Getting a few likes coming through. So let's talk about your sort of thing. I want to encourage people to go watch the YouTube video. This is one of the things we do. You've got an incredible, interesting background. What's going on in your background? What are all these things that you've got?
Back here?
Yeah, anywhere.
Some of the best iconic memorabilia from some of the biggest movies in the world.
Awesome sauce. I see a Thor hammer
backpack that you guys can't see, but that's my favorite thing back there. Yeah, you got the Thor hammer, Big Lebowski skateboard behind me.
The Big Lebowski skateboard. The dude abides. That was the line I was looking for in
There
the
you go.
green
I
room.
knew
The dude
it, knew it
abides.
would come to you.
There you go. And the rug really tied the room together, man. Just take it easy, man. One of the greatest movies of all time, The Big Lebowski. If you don't think so, I can't be friends with anybody
I'm
that
with you.
believes that. Yeah.
Stop listening now. Actually,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
go somewhere else.
We just lost 2 viewers who don't watch. All the cool people watch it. Let's talk. You've been a CEO for how long? How many years have you been a CEO and a serial entrepreneur?
Yeah, I've been building companies since a teenager. So my first real company that I rolled out, I built the first B2B, B2C e-commerce platform for the beauty industry in the mid to late 90s. I launched over 1,200 brands. We were distributing
Wow.
products all over the world. I got to work with some of the most amazing celebrities, athletes, musicians, singers, entertainers on building out their brands and their personal brands. The interesting thing about the beauty industry, it's like the mafia. It just always keeps pulling me back. And if you look at some of the major billionaire, iconic actresses, actors, and celebrities, it was that beauty component that actually made them into the 100 millionaire or the billionaire. What I've learned in that career and building that company is early on, there was a few industries that were known as recession proof, and it was typically tobacco, alcohol, beauty, and gambling. Now we've learned that beauty is the only one that's not only recession proof, but it's also pandemic proof, because women will spend their last dollar to look good because it makes them feel good. And that's the industry that.
There you go. Note to self, go into beauty products. Actually, I had a beauty line that I tried to sell that I made, and people just kept looking at me like, no one wants to look like you, man.
That's not true. That's not true. Let's build it. Let's make it. You got a lot of listeners out there. Let's get them something tangible.
Yeah, but they mostly listen on the podcast. It's all audio. They don't watch the YouTube
get them
videos.
some ears. Get them some ear cream. So they could hear it better.
That maybe that should be the new model for the show. The Chris Voss Show, the ear cream of podcasts. I'm not really sure.
Yes, I love it. See, look at that. We just made an amazing idea.
It's probably not going to end well or play well either. People are going to be like, ew, is this an OnlyFans channel? What's going on there? Anyway, moving on. So what motivates you want to be an entrepreneur? How'd you get this bug in you? How'd you get the entrepreneur disease?
It definitely is a disease, and there's no cure for it. My personal opinion is, it's in your DNA. It's in you to just go out and do it. Some people, it takes a little bit longer to make that step. It's for a strong-minded, strong stomach person. The hardest part about an entrepreneur's journey, especially in their family or in their household or even with their peers, it's a lonely journey because there's only so many of us that understand what's pulling at us to go out and do something. And we also need support, and we desire support from our inner circle, and it's sometimes very difficult to get. So it is a lonely journey, and something I've had to battle with constantly on trying to get that support from family, friends, and loved ones. And then at some point in my career, I just said, I don't need it. I just need to know that I know I love what I'm doing. I'm going to keep going after it, and I believe in myself, and it will click. And then the funny part is when it clicks, all those people that you were just dying for their support on, they said, they become your best friends again. And we knew you were going to do it. We knew you were going to make it. And, get the accolades and take them when they come, because it is well-deserved, and it is a good feeling.
I was always the black sheep in my family because I didn't join into the religious cult. And so I was always the black sheep. But then when I became successful and got money, then they're all like, I got invited back to all the parties. But then they're like, you can't talk about your atheist sort of evil satanic ways. And I'm like, but then I'm not showing up. So it was kind of funny how that works. It's always interesting, but it is a hard basis. What tripped you into it, or what started you into it? Was there some sort of bug that got into you, or is there some sort of influence that made you want to?
I wanted to make a mark. I don't know. I'm very connected with. This isn't going to go into religion or spirituality, so I want to make sure I give that little disclaimer based on what you told me. So I'm youngest of four. My siblings are 10 to 13 years older than me. So I was surrounded by more funerals than celebratory events when I started getting older, because grandparents were passing away, aunts, uncles, family, friends. So I just bombarded with death. So I ties into my company motto that I've used forever: is time is our most precious commodity. Mm-hmm. And then in 2016, after I kind of built my little empire to my world of 30 or so holdings at that time. Got into a terrible car accident where a drunk driver hit me head on.
Wow.
Stupidly going back to my office on a Sunday in Nashville for meetings. And the nice part of the story is I didn't die, and I thanked the woman, because I'll take that hit, because she could have killed somebody or ruined the family. So I'll take that hit every time.
Mhm.
Secondly, the dominoes after that was I lost everything at that point. I was the connector I was a deal maker, the rainmaker. I was a relationship builder, all my companies and holdings and all my work. I was the glue, which was the wrong model, because once you took the glue out of it, all the popsicle sticks fell and collapsed. So, which was good again too. I had to rebuild from less than nothing.
Wow.
I didn't file for bankruptcy. It's not my style. I don't ever intend to go out and hurt or screw people, but my life hit a bad jam, and I had to rebuild, and rebuilding with less than nothing is very difficult. So you got to get really scrappy. And the very long answer to your question is, I always understood that time is limited. No guarantee if we're going to be here a minute, an hour from now, let alone 50 years from now. So what can I do in the time that I'm given, whatever that hourglass looks like? How can I make an impact? How can I at least leave this life feeling like I did something? And it's not money oriented. That's kind of something that always got me in harm's way in the past, is that money to me is a byproduct of good people doing good work.
Mhm.
I stupidly and inherently believe that everybody's good. Not the case. Not the case.
Really?
I'm telling you,
Maybe you just pick
it's a
bad
rumor,
people.
but yeah. When you have when you're wired like me and you have that window or door open, you invite good and bad into your life. And
Yeah.
your job with your experiences and life lessons is to spot the bad as quickly as possible and slam that window on their hands before they get in, and never blame people for the harm's way they may have put you in. That's your fault. It's your actions, your decisions that allow your life to go one way or the other. The people that get thrown into your life, I believe they all serve a purpose. And if the after effect of someone you meet maybe becomes something bad or negative, well, there's something to learn there if you're emotionally evolved enough to understand that what got me into that position, what am I supposed to get out of this? And my opinion is, I thank people that try to screw me or get one over on me, because they show me a vulnerability that I still have. I need to work.
I do the same thing as I'm shoveling the dirt over their body. I think thanks, man.
And the lime. So you make sure you have.
Yeah, you always make sure you got that mix. If you don't have like a 80-20 mix,
you don't have much time left. Yeah,
I live in Vegas for 20 years. We all know how that West Desert works. You can't put them in Lake Mead anymore because the water keeps dropping.
The water's too low. It doesn't work.
Yeah, they're finding all sorts of shit you don't even want to know. But no, this is important. One of my favorite lines. I went through my cathartic times with my businesses over the years. The 2008 recession, took me and my my little empire out. There's one of my favorite lines in one of my favorite movies is Fight Club. And there's a line there that says, "It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything."
So true.
And the one thing I learned when I lost everything was that I still had my most important asset, and it honed me to whittle me down to go, there's still one thing that you have, and until they kill you, until they put you down, until they break you down, you're the guy who built all this shit. You can rebuild it all again.
Exactly.
And a lot of entrepreneurs, we go through this cathartic process. We go through this, lots of failure.
Non-sociopath, egotistical ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't talk about me that way. I mean, I go through them too. So there you go. So let's start at the top of what we want to talk about today. One of your companies that you want to promote. Let's go down the list of some of these different companies.
Oh, I appreciate it. There's definitely some great ones there. So the Turncoin you were speaking about, one of my most coveted and largest holdings. It's the first of its kind. It's a registered digital security. So our legal and dear friend and colleague of mine for many years is Mr. Roel Campos, who was one of the previous commissioners of the SEC. So when we were building this financial mechanism, we wanted to always make sure, along with all my other companies, is if we're going to go into a space that could be a digital asset crypto, NFT, blockchain, some key buzzwords with this current environment. I'm not going to operate in a gray area and say, "Oh, I'm sorry if I did something wrong." We're going to operate correctly. We're going to work with regulatory, and we're going to, if there's nothing like it out there, well, then we're going to be the first one to develop it correctly and properly get it registered and filed in full transparency. So this is one of those companies in which we've had tremendous success with. We have the full support and backing and investment from some iconic athletes and entertainers such as Drew Brees. He's actually our global ambassador, what we built here. Patrick Mahomes, Randy Jackson from American Idol. We have Von Miller, Cam Jordan, Wendell Carter, and most recently we've announced Luke Bryan, country music star, that's joined our company as one of our music ambassadors. So at the top level, anybody that owns a Turncoin, which is a registered security, it's not a cryptocurrency. They own a piece of the revenues that come in from our operating company, which is known as Virtual Stacks. So that's VIRTUALSTAX. Virtual Stacks just officially launched about a week ago. We launched with we launched with 20 collegiate athletes on the platform, and 5 years of development, just a little bit over $20 million in private investment capital from strategic money. No investment banking, no VCs, no private equity. All specific strategic individuals that believed in what we were building, and we've created a fungible token environment where people can buy virtual shares of people. So we're going out saying stocks for companies, stacks for people. And with this model, you have two business models. You have anybody that is like Patrick Mahomes or a Drew Brees that has a massive audience, and across any different industry. We started with sports. You have a huge amount of followers, and these are people that are going to buy your virtual shares or your virtual trading cards. So it's a major liquidity event for anybody that has built a big audience and has a great fan base and a great loyal growing fan base. On that platform, anybody that's buying or selling their virtual shares, the issuer, or the Drew Brees in this example, they keep 90% of the revenues. The platform keeps 10%. And all the money flows up into all the Turncoin holders. So you have this constant monthly yield coming into all of our investors or anybody that buys and holds our registered security. The other business model, which is one of the biggest reasons why I'm part of this company and heavily advocating it, is you have billions of people that have passions, dreams, and talents to be the next Derek Jeter, to be the next Taylor Swift, to be the next Drew Brees, Tiger Woods, the list goes on. At some point on those careers, they have limited exposure. Instagram, TikTok has given these people a little bit more oomph, but there's still no way to properly monetize them to continue to go after their dreams and to continue to take lessons, hopefully get them a college scholarship or money for them to go to school, buy equipment, stay on top of their skill and their dreams. And at some point, myself included, I had aspirations to be a baseball player, and I stupidly gave up on that in college and went after building my entrepreneur side. But you have something like this now, and think of it like a GoFundMe, where it's a legal, regulated environment where your friends, your family, your classmates, your coaches, your music instructor, your piano teacher, anybody can buy virtual shares of you to help you continue to support your dreams, and you continue to bring in money to go after those dreams and to go after those passions. So it allows people to spot talent. So if you're a speculator, or if you're someone that likes to identify, you see a 12-year-old kid out on the golf course and you think he's going to be the next Tiger Woods, imagine buying his virtual shares on Virtual Stacks' platform for 10 cents a share, and you bought 10,000 shares to help that kid continue after his dreams. 8 years from now, you see him on TV playing the Masters, and his virtual shares are now $15, $20, $50. So imagine the upside of being able to support people on their journey and actually be able to recoup substantial earnings if you stuck with them and you continue to believe and support them. So you multiply that by all the, again, billions of people that want to be artists, musicians, athletes, singers, anything. We even have great business people on this platform that are going to help entrepreneurs be able to monetize their skill sets, to give them some awareness and have people invest into them or buy their virtual shares or virtual trading cards because they think they may be the next Elon Musk one day. Amazing platform, incredible team of people. CEO Rudolph Markroff, phenomenal leader, great visionary, and I'm honored to be working alongside of him and the rest of this great team.
So I'm looking at the website. It's Virtual Stacks with a X at the end. Virtual Stacks, STAX.com. And so I can see all the different celebrities you guys have on there. Randy Jackson's on here. I think there's a country star on here.
Luke Bryan.
Yeah. I'm not too into the thing. Is Metallica on here yet? I'm just kidding. Go ahead and add to them. But so can anyone join this and put up a thing for themselves, or do you have to have some celebrity status?
No, anybody. So the first rollout is these 20 collegiate athletes that we have on the platform. And we've, again, they're 7 days in. You're already seeing that these kids are generating revenue from their fan base or their family or
Wow.
supporters. So now, the platform, which we've known there's a need for it in the market, just nobody had the wherewithal to build it. We built it. And now going from here, it'll strategically roll out into other sporting industries, professions, and then it will be open up to everybody, where you can easily issue your virtual shares, just like you're signing up for Instagram or TikTok. It's going to be that simple. There is a KYC process to make sure that people are actually who they say they are. You can't say you're Taylor Swift and start to issue virtual shares of yourself if you're not her. So in that case, very simple process, and you can be up and running and have people start to back your dreams very easily.
So I can go on there and
you go on right now. You can sign up. It's Stacks, STAX.app is the actual platform, or like you said, virtualstacks.com. You can get more information about that.
Yeah, my value would probably go negative though. People be like, "No, block that dude."
I don't think so. I'd support you. I think you got plenty more.
I got one support. Yeah, man. Cool, man. This is awesome. I'm going places. I might be the next Taylor Swift.
You may be.
I want to be
Howard Stern, I would think, the way you want to keep growing this thing.
To be another Howard Stern. I'm just waiting for him to kick off so the rest of his followers over there. We tried to get on. I think we talked to somebody at Sirius XM one time, and it's just no, we're good at doing our own thing. We don't want control. But so this is really cool. So people can download the app, they can follow, they can basically invest or buy shares in their favorite person, and then the stock can go up or down, right?
Yeah, or their virtual share price. Think of it like owning a Mickey Mantle card or an Aaron Judge card. If you look at it like a virtual trading card, and the demand is based upon supply and demand. So the algorithm we have, or the popularity that you have as an issuer, it's not tied into your revenues or your earnings. So it's not a security. It's just tied into your fan base, your popularity, your growth, your momentum that you have behind you. And the more people that want to have that connection to you, the more opportunities they have to be able to have that connection. This is one of those things that allows someone to actually say, hey, I own a virtual share of one of my favorite idols in the world. Phase 2, there'll be the NFT component, where you'll be able to have even closer proximity and even additional digital collectibles of your favorite athletes, entertainers, business people, or celebrities. But you'd have to have ownership in their virtual shares to be able to have access to that next level of connection to them. So there's
a next step coming out.
Yeah, coming out, which again,
these are based. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, just adds more support and revenue opportunities for the issuer, and give them more opportunities to continue to monetize their popularity and fuel their dreams.
And so basically, these are blockchain certificates where you can buy into talented people, which is probably why I'm not on there yet. I'm not talented. You can create your stacks, you can promote your stacks and fund your dreams and track performance. And then this ties in with the Turn coin.
Correct. So if you're a Turncoin equity holder, we have quite a large investor pool of people that bought our Turncoin digital security. They'll be listed on digital security exchanges shortly, where people can continue to buy and sell them. And if you own a Turncoin, you own a percentage of the revenue that comes in from all of the buying and selling of people's virtual stacks. And on a monthly basis, you get that yield. So going into this next economic crisis, we've been in it for a while. So as we're in this issue where you're seeing housing bubble prices pop, you're seeing businesses lay off tens of thousands of people. I've always thought yield-driven, dividend-driven companies are the most important thing in the world. They help prevent bubbles from bursting, because these bullshit valuations that company has or assets have or properties have is what causes a collapse because it's not sustainable. But if you go back to a time not that long ago where you based the valuations on companies, whether they're public or private, on a multiplier of their earnings, it's simple math. You learned this in 5th grade. That's what the company's worth, not some ridiculous number that you fantasize it being worth that's not sustainable. And then you start to have a collapse. And the minute there's any type of collapse, even if it's a small correction, everybody flips out because they reminisce the late 90s, they reminisce 2012, like you're mentioning. And it's trying to catch a falling knife. It just, everybody leaves as quickly as they can. And then I don't know how many more times governments can bail out situations saying they're too big to fail and just print more and more money. It doesn't continue to work that way. It just hurts the masses, and the masses fuel the world. So to me, companies like Turncoin, it's an old GE model. Mr. Jack Welch, who I loved his business practices, is build companies that generate earnings and protect the company, protect the stakeholders, protect the employees. And as long as those earnings are coming in and your investors get a dividend, you built a safe ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. So this looks pretty interesting. You've got stacks categories. So there's esports, sports. Wow. So esports, you can do gaming stuff.
Yeah.
Artists, actors. There's musician. Business is probably where I'd be. There's influencer if you're like an Instagram person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Some people call me an influencer, but
you most certainly are.
I don't know. People just listen to the show and go, yeah, whatever. Keep us laughing, boy. And just keep entertaining us. Just shut up and don't tell us what to do. Just entertain us and educate us as well. We call it info entertainment. So this is really cool. You can download the app. It just launched. You can get on both the iPhone and.
Well, here's the other thing. We spent a lot of time rebuilding this. It's a mobile application, so it doesn't rely on being in the App Store. All you got to do is go to stacks.app, and you're inside of our app environment. A lot of reasons as to this. In order for us to continue to grow and not be in harm's way one day if the Apple or Google gods decide they don't want us to be on their systems anymore, to just delete us, which we've seen them do with other companies. So there's no reason for us to be in that situation. And we believe this is a tool with a lot of my other companies, Nodal being one of them, MetaLife being another one. This is a tool that's going to be connected to our wireless global networks that don't rely on cellular Wi-Fi or traditional internet networks. We want virtual stacks to be on every device in the world, whether they have connectivity, limited connectivity or not. So if you were living in an App Store environment with some of our other plans and global reach, and someone's in the middle of a very remote area of the world or in a jungle, and they have an Android or an iOS smart device or a smartphone, but they don't have connectivity, they can't access the App Store. They can't entertain or engage with the system. But if you're on one of our other networks, that's a mesh network that can continue to allow for connectivity and communication, pushing content and allowing people to communicate with each other, then you can always be 100% up and operational. So, the reason not being in an App Store environment too is it can ensure that something like this, that is a very powerful tool for people to generate revenues for themselves, to always be able to be in somebody's hands and always be able to be promoting their stacks to their audience.
That's good to have when the zombie apocalypse kicks in.
It's coming. That was on the CDC website, so it's coming.
Next week. I think it's 2023. 2023 is about to come around the corner here. Those of you watching this,
2023 and me. I think that should be the slogan.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a terrible thing.
That's a DNA thing.
Yeah, it's a DNA. That's how they know who to eat. That's who we know who's going to be a zombie and who's not. So it all ties in.
Go. It'll all tie in. I want one of those. I want just like a good year for a change. Like
go get a tire.
It doesn't even have to be a good year. I'll take like an average year where nothing happens, just fucking boring, like all year long. After COVID
I'm so in
2021, 20, like end the war in Russia, and let's just kind of all get along for a while and just pretend like we like each other and nothing happens. No locusts, no plagues,
No
no
frogs. Yeah.
frogs. No, I'm over all of it, man. I just
You ever see the tornado videos with frogs? By the way, it's
I
amazing.
don't. Is that a
Well,
thing?
apparently, there's been some tornadoes that sucked up a bunch of frogs,
I
and then it
imagine
starts
that has to
raining frogs. And I go back to the
be.
biblical times, like, was that all that just happened? Was it a tornado that sucked up a bunch of frogs and then threw them back down into the?
I don't know. The way the last few years have gone, you're just like, what's next? I mean, I'm still waiting for the aliens and the rapture to take place. So I'm been preparing for all that. I've been practicing my alien language.
Yeah,
You've
what
been
do you
doing that,
got?
right? Too, right? Well,
Always.
I mean, yeah, I think it's mostly Klingon. I've been trying to learn Klingon. I don't know what the fuck that means. So, anything more we want to touch on this before we move to one of your next ventures you want to promote?
No, I appreciate us touching
Cool,
on
man.
it.
It's a good looking app and it's a good looking website. I've seen a lot of people try and square this circle, and it looks like you guys have got the backing and everything to do it. So, a lot
Yeah,
of good people involved.
long time, a lot of great people. Like anything, you can't get anything done without amazing people supporting you and next to you. So this was lightning in a bottle with this team and all the professional services that we have supporting this, and great leadership.
There you go. Oh, people! I was going to mention. I was looking over the website here. People can trade and sell their investments too
That's
on the thing.
correct.
So,
Yeah.
like, if I want to sell a Drew Brees card because I don't know, he's not working out well on my fantasy football league.
Well,
Didn't he
he's getting you
retire?
0 points because he ain't playing
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't he retire?
unless
But
he joins the replacements.
I'm selling him now.
Keanu Reeves.
Trading him for I don't even know who's doing good. I'm a Raiders fan, so you watch the football for the first three games, and then you just go give up and cry the rest of the year. You don't bother. I can't watch the Raiders. I love Raiders. It's so hard to be your lifelong fan, but I mean, I could be a Browns fan, so I don't worry about it too much.
That's true. It's always can be worse.
What? Well, it's the NFL. What else? What else do you want to plug in here?
We could talk about Nodal. I touched on it briefly. Nodal, we've built the world's largest wireless network without building a single wireless tower, cell tower, or Wi-Fi base station.
Wow.
Connecting billions of IoT devices around the world. Co-founders Misha Ben-Oliel and Garrett Kinsman. I get to work with them and this great team. We have an amazing app that rewards our users. Nodal Cash, Nodle Cash. So Nodal Cash app for Android or iPhone, and you download the app and you immediately create a digital wallet, and you passively earn our Nodal Cash cryptocurrency by allowing Nodal to utilize your device or access your device and simply collect small packets of data from all IoT devices around your phone. You'd be very surprised when you download the app and you turn it on and to see that they just start earning Nodal Cash like crazy because of all the Bluetooth devices, Bluetooth chips, anything broadcasting out IoT data our network sees. And again, for allowing us to use your phone, we reward you for allowing us to collect that bit of data, use your phone as a gateway, and send that to the cloud. We don't collect any personal information. We have no idea who the users are. We're not selling any personal information. It's simply a network to collect and organize and build data from all the IoT devices that are in an environment. So it's pretty amazing company, very amazing company actually.
Yeah.
The Nodal Cash cryptocurrency is listed on top tier exchanges around the world, and we've got an amazing group of holders, tons of wallets that have created a Nodal Cash app wallet. And we're part of, if you're familiar with cryptocurrencies or blockchain, we're part of the Polkadot network. We have a parachain on that network. And again, all the companies that I'm involved with, this one included, it's long-term visions, it's great leadership. Nothing that's going to try to take advantage of trends or just try to capitalize on a short-term moment. It's really building what we believe the future is going to look like, and how do you build companies that can be sustainable and weather any storm and be there for the next 100 years. So that's my mindset. Kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about, what is my point on this planet? I'd like to leave a little bit of a legacy, a little bit of a mark of the things that I was involved with, the great company and people that I get to work with and help them achieve their dreams and goals. And thankfully, I built a great network of relationships and people. And what I always love in the present moment is thinking about this right now. It's all my work, efforts, decisions, lack of decisions, my path and my journey led to us connecting and now being on your great show. Same thing goes for you. Everything you've done in your life up until when we first spoke, it doesn't happen by accident. Those are all decisions that we've been part of that allowed that to happen. And I love that moment. It's one of my favorite things in the world. If you just sat back and think about why are you in that room when I get to speak with or speak at great conferences or with groups of people, it's an important question that people need to think about and reflect about. How did I get here? How did I get in this place right now? Like,
Yeah.
what did I do?
What did I do? I mean, I didn't come here willingly. They trapped me. I think I was trying to get a Snickers bar that I found on the street, and it was attached to a string. And then all of a sudden, they locked me in this room and said, "You're now the host of the Chris Voss Show, and we'll feed you scraps on the door." And I'm like,
It's amazing.
I don't know. As long as I get the Snicker bar every now and then, I'm good. But so it's kind of against my will, but I don't know. It seems to be working, whatever that means. I don't know. So this is Nodle, NODLE.com.
Correct.
And is this a Web3 basically new sort of thing?
It's definitely parts of Web3. It's building a basically utilizing another wireless network connecting mobile devices. So it's unreliant of cellular connectivity. It's unreliant on Wi-Fi connectivity. It's allowing your mobile phone to be able to connect to IoT devices in an environment. So it's a traditional network. You can think of like another type of telecom, except we don't know who you are. We don't want to know who you are. We're not collecting, selling. Know. We don't. We're not.
You don't want to know my OnlyFans subscription base. I don't know what that means.
Unless there's a ton of IoT devices around you at that moment. That's all we want to know. We want to collect that little bit of data and reward you for it.
So the who, what, why, and where, when, so why is this important? Why is it important to download the app and get involved? You can make money. Am I creating like a basically new AT&T or Verizon sort of network basically? Or
without anybody exploiting your privacy.
I like AT&T knowing what my OnlyFans subscriptions are.
That's your choice. Well, we believe your data is yours, and we believe you should be able to monetize your data how you like.
I like having the FBI and the and the other things. It's cool when they activate.
So here I opened up the app if you can see it.
Okay, let's see.
So this is the Nodal app, and right now I see those little Nodal coins popping around.
Oh wow!
Those are all IoT devices around me.
And you get paid for basically helping you guys create the network there.
Look at that. Just earning the way. So if you walk into a Best Buy, you light up like a Christmas tree. Just turn this app on. Yeah.
Wow. Do you need to have both your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth on? Or does it?
Just your Bluetooth needs to be on.
Your Bluetooth.
Your Bluetooth needs to be on, and that'll connect with anybody nearby. But you do have to have internet connection at some point to send that data to the cloud, and that's when you get your earnings.
There you go. Does it increase my data burn at all?
Not at all. No, not at all. But what we'd like you to have the capability of is earning enough Nodal cash throughout the month to be able to pay your data plan, for example. We want people
that would be cool.
Yeah. So that's part of the business roadmap is earning enough money for offering people free connectivity and having access to the internet for free.
Is it a way where I could replace using AT&T or Verizon?
I mean, it's always good to have redundancy in place. I think networks need to all work together and communicate with each other. And now you got Musk's Starlink, you have traditional cellular towers, but then you have to understand the not that you don't, I'm not saying it like you don't, but the business economics of why a cell tower goes up or why billions of dollars of fiber or infrastructure go into an area. It's because there's an economic play there. There's majority parts of the world are never going to have a cell tower or Wi-Fi base stations built because there's no economic play. But that doesn't mean that there's not a civilization there or a village of people or thousands of people that are still there and they live there, but they're not going to have traditional networks. So when you have parallel networks like Nodal, MetaLife, I mentioned before, a complete mesh social networking, true Web3 company where we don't rely on any centralized traditional networks, there's half the planet isn't connected. You have 3-4 billion people that are not connected. So part of my journey has been to really connect the unconnected world, and I learned this unfortunately when those towers went down in 2001, I saw that Sprint, wasn't Sprint at the time. I saw that Nextel push to talk technology, and I said, "Holy shit, that is important."
Yeah.
Because if it didn't have that, there was no communication at ground zero. And if you look today, 21 years later, it's still the traditional hub and spoke model, where if we all connect to a cell tower, we all connect to a Wi-Fi in our homes. But if you don't have power, or there's a terrorist event or a blackout or a storm or something to take that network down, you got a very expensive MP3 player in your pocket. So it drives me crazy that we still continue to build this hub and spoke model for communication. Now with technologies and companies like Nodal, Helium is another one, and MetaLife, you have the ability to connect, communicate, locate, and share things with other people, regardless if you have internet or cellular connection or not. So to me, life-saving, important technology, and also an important redundancy network where you can merge traditional networks, traditional Wi-Fi, cellular with these new technologies that are rolling out.
There you go. So I download the app and I'm seeing it activate here.
How easy was
And
that? You just did that
very
now.
easy.
There was
Yeah,
no
I just set it up.
pre-gaming on this. That
And it
was
set up a wallet for me and all that sort of good stuff. Let me see if I can hold it a little bit more where I'm not getting the blowback.
yeah, I was doing the same thing. But
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, so it's doing some pinging. It says pending reward 10 devices
Look at
right
that.
now. And yeah, so I'll play with it. Hey, if I can figure out a way to get rid of my cell phone bill, that would be awesome.
Okay, we want to help you do that.
I'm all for that. What else do you want to touch on?
I love to touch on EV Hotel.
Okay.
Great hotel brand. Not even a single building up yet, but it's got a huge community. It's known as one of the most advanced smart technology, high technology hotel concepts that hit the market.
What's
Chairman
the .com on that?
evhotel.com.
How do you spell the EV?
Actually, we actually just changed. Let me make sure it's correct, because it used to be EV Hotel AI.
People look these up as we're going along. And
one sec. So funny, we just updated it yesterday. So I want to make sure it went. It is the THE EV Hotel.
DEV?
Oh no, THE. So the
THE.
E as in Edward.
E.
V as in Victor.
Okay.
Hotel.com.
evhotel.com. And I must have misspelled it somehow. THE EV hotel.com.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Huh. Oh, you know what it's doing? I'm in the search thing. What an idiot.
You're doing great. You're doing
great. On the search bar, it just goes, well, here are some competitors. And you end up with all the thing. All right, so the EV Hotel. And so you guys are launching this. What is the company's vision, and what are you trying to achieve?
Yeah, so I merged all my work on this space for about 8 to 10 years. I've been building this crypto concept hospitality hotel brand. Honored to get to work with some of the biggest hotel and F&B and hospitality hotels and brands out there. All those executive CEOs love the concept I wanted to bring to the market, but trying to move them is impossible. So Cinderella story of knowing people and the journey that I've been on. I meet Ken Patel, who is the CEO and founder of EV Hotel. He's building this high-tech, smart technology hotel, automated, giving the guests and the staff this incredible experience on technologies and services and IoT devices that you would expect and want in a hotel environment, things that you have in your own home but you don't have in a hotel. Then I said, love it. Let's talk about merging what you're building in with what I want to build with this crypto NFT digital asset vision and create the world's first smart crypto hotel, which we've done. We've been working together for over a year now. Our first location is being built in the Phoenix market. We've announced partnerships and locations that'll be announced in Punta Cana. That was announced with a Spanish public entity, and future locations will be properly announced shortly. And what we've done is we've created what I've mentioned before. You have all these smart devices, smart mirrors, smart bathroom, smart toilet, all about 20 or so smart devices in your
Oh, wow.
hotel. Now, when you walk into the EV hotel lobby, you're immediately connected to this enormous community of crypto enthusiasts or digital asset people where they can see and display NFTs in the hotel lobby. They can easily pay and check in for things with their crypto wallet or their preferred cryptocurrency or crypto token that they want to experience and use in real life. You know, one of the biggest things that I've seen going to these conferences, whether it's Bitcoin or if it's an Ethereum or an NFT city that gets taken over, it's amazing because you have these great parties and you have this incredible influential people that are saying where the world is going, and I believe that is where it's going. However, you're in that environment, you're at that club, you're at that pool party, and they're all talking NFTs, they're all talking cryptocurrencies, and then you take out your Visa and you pay for your drink and your meal. There's a disconnect with the excitement for the community to actually be able to use those cryptocurrencies in real life and bring all these people into a building that is catered to them. And that's what EV Hotel is. It's catered to that traveler that loves technology. They love ease of use. They love being able to just walk in and go right to the room without even actually needing to talk to somebody. Just check in and do the process through yourself. And now be able to pay for your turkey sandwich in cryptocurrency. When you walk into your room, have your NFTs thrown up on the wall so you can feel proud about all the digital assets that you own that are in your wallet that you can now actually experience inside of your room, and again, possibly even throughout the lobby of the hotel. And then the real big mechanism is the getting rid of the ballrooms. That is a big expense in a lot of these hotels, and replacing it with an actual cryptocurrency trading floor, much like the New York Stock Exchange or the Chicago Merc, where you can increase the economics of that building or that hotel being more profitable, where you sell seats to these digital exchanges, to the cryptocurrency companies, where they can actually buy a seat to the floor of our exchanges. The guest or anybody in that town or visiting that town can go into our hotel and start to understand what cryptocurrencies are, start to actually see it in real life, much like if they're watching Bloomberg or CNBC, where they can actually see it is an asset. They could see people buying and selling and trading. They can start to connect it with familiarities of themselves, whether they, it's like no different than me buying an IBM stock through Charles Schwab. It's the same exact thing. It's just another medium or another asset class that I can put in my portfolio. I've always believed that's the biggest missing thing for getting generational wealth, to believe that this cryptocurrency chapter of our lives is real, is that they don't see it, they don't believe it, they don't trust it. But if you can replicate the processes of it to something that we're very used to, again, like going on Ameritrade.com or turning on CNBC and watching the trading happening and watching markets being built and watching liquidity happen, then you can start to get people to put their guard down a little bit and trust this movement. And even prior to this whole FTX collapse, I've always spoken about, it freaks the hell out of me, about the children responsible for billions and billions of dollars of trading and billions of dollars of people's assets going in and out of these platforms. Needs to be regulated. It needs to be run by seasoned professionals that understand the importance of people's money and cherish the process of a market. A true market is never fails. The stock market has never failed. Whether it's going up and down is not my point. It doesn't fail as far as trading that, creating that trade where people can buy and sell paper and convert it to cash or some fiat currency. And same thing should apply in this crypto movement, and working with banks and regulatory and seasoned professionals that understand that process and protect people's taxed earnings, because that is extremely important. And in the crypto world, it tends to resemble monopoly money, where people don't really understand that if you're buying and selling crypto and you want to go and utilize those trades into some sort of commerce, you got to convert it to fiat currency. You got to convert it to cash. And that's never talked about. It kind of drives me crazy. And everybody's saying it's going in the future is crypto, everything's going to be crypto. Maybe not, but that's a scary world to live in. I want to always have the ability to use cash. I hate going into a store or a restaurant or a retail store that says we don't take cash. It freaks me out, Because I start to think about, well, what happens when there's no connectivity, or you lose power, or there's a storm and I need to go into this store and I need to get water. You don't take cash. Do you just not do business? It freaks me out.
It's always good to have options. So
Always.
the EV hotel will have 12 EV smart devices in each guest room. So pretty cool, man. It's gonna be walking in the future of hotels, basically.
That's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan. And we've built a great community, a lot of support behind this brand. And since the work that we've done, well, Ken's done separately, I've done separately, then over the last year we've done together, we've sparked a lot of other brands to increase their innovations and make announcements, which I think is great. I think hotels need to upgrade a lot of their services and solutions and offerings. And I think they got to, I don't know when's the last time you or anybody has booked a hotel room, but the rates are ridiculously high. And you don't really get anything anymore that you used to get. There's no real enhanced services, no real special feelings, and everything is just more expensive.
Yeah. Well, if in Vegas, you only use a hotel room to crash after your night of partying. So that's where the hangover happens. But we've seen that movie, The Hangover. Anything else you want to promote before we go out?
No, I really appreciate your time, Chris. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Cool. I know there was an NFT thing that you had, I think, in your bio that I was curious about. The Chain Tech Labs. Do you want to plug that at all?
Yeah, Chain Tech Labs, great team, great company. Over a year of development, we're the first of its kind to be regulated and licensed out of the DIFC in Dubai, and we're creating revenue-bearing tokens. So again, in my mind, NFTs were another vehicle for companies to build awareness, build big customer bases, and generate revenues. So that's how I looked at this digital asset NFT space, not just as a picture of something and try to take a bunch of money from people and laugh at them, but actually use this as another tool for companies to raise revenue. It's another mechanism for revenues, but you want to be able to always support people buying your stuff. If someone's buying our NFTs or what we've stated as RBTs, revenue bearing tokens, the word revenue is in what we're creating. If you're going to buy something of ours, like one of our NFTs or RBTs, there's got to be a real business behind it. And we want to make sure that this thing's more valuable and in more demand, and you never want to sell it. So not that everything I'm involved with is a Berkshire Hathaway Class A stock, but that's my mindset is I want to create things that have real value. I want to create things that have sustainable value. And I really want to create things that people never want to effing sell. I want someone to hold this thing forever, be proud of it, and earn from it every day that they're holding it, and pass it down from their kid to their kids to their kids to their kids. So that's what I want to create. And it's fun now because 20 years ago, 10 years ago, trying to create this with the wrong lawyers, the wrong accountants, the biggest assholes in the world, just stealing my ideas and ruining them. Still glad about that process because it allowed me to learn and become more seasoned and understand the team. Right now, I want the 1927 Murderers Row. That's what I want all the time. And if we don't have that, then we don't go in business and we don't launch it until I have the right people in the right positions to make sure that we can actually execute and perform. And that's all that I want. It's not even a crazy ask. It should be the same sane ask that every CEO or entrepreneur puts out in the world when they want to go in business or release a product or build a solution. You better have the right team, the right people supporting you, or your journey is going to be hell and you're going to hate every day. So do it and do it right.
Definitely. That's a great mantra to do it with. So we've covered a lot of different companies. Give us your .coms, wherever you want people or all the dots that we want to have people take a look at. They'll, of course, be listed on the Chris Voss Show. Of
course. Well, after you go to the Chris Voss Show, check out EIE.rocks. Again, that's a corporate site that goes through a lot of the holdings. But most importantly, if you want to hear my voice and how I portray my ethics, my entrepreneurial journey, it's LinkedIn and Twitter, and it's Brian J. Esposito, and it's never really fluff. I think anything I post has got some real merit to it, some great life lessons, and I'm as vulnerable as they come. I tell my story true because if I can help someone avoid some of the mistakes I've made or have a better understanding when they're going through some of those trials and tribulations, that you're not alone. We all go through it. More money does not mean less problems. Nobody's immune to problems, and don't be afraid to ask for help. It's not weak. Go on places like LinkedIn, find somebody that you think you can relate and connect with, and if you're in a jam, ask for help.
That's the great thing about being an entrepreneur. You give back, and you're usually rewarded in the usually direct proportion to the service and help and assistance you give to other people at making their lives better. Hopefully, I'm not sure people listening to the show are getting their lives improved, but I don't know, maybe they are. But you're usually rewarded, and that's the beautiful thing about entrepreneurism. You make the world better. You build widgets to make people's lives better. Usually, you find something, you're like, I don't like how this works, and there's a better way to do this, and you invent something better. I never thought that somebody could improve on paper clips. That's one of my favorite analogies. Like I was like, yeah, that paper clips thing, that's pretty much done in the can. Then years later, they came out with serrated paper clips or whatever. They have the little cuts on them, so they hold better. And then somebody came out with painted candy stripe ones, and I'm like, I don't know about candy stripe paper clips. Someone might eat that. It looks like one of those little Christmas sort of candies they have. And so, that's the beautiful thing. And it's great that it's a great opportunity to give back. I think some of the best, charity and different things that we do and just helping people makes all the difference in the world. So thank you very much, Brian, for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it as well. Have a good day and good holiday season.
And I got to go download all your stuff now and some of these other apps. I got the one going. So that's cool. And we'll check out all the apps. I really love the beauty of what you put in the Virtual Stacks app. I see a lot of people trying to do different things on this over the years, and the apps usually aren't done that well. And so, having a good visual app makes all the difference in the world too, as well. We'll probably go see if we can put the Chris Voss Show on there, and it'll probably go in the negative because everybody will be like, just sell it.
Turn those machines back on.
Yeah, everybody will be selling short on my.
No, I'd be your first buyer, so let's get you up on there.
All right, cool, man. I'm like a hooker on an app now. Oh, wait, that's my OnlyFans, the Chris Voss Show OnlyFans. I usually have a joke for the OnlyFans, but anyway. So thank you very much for coming on, Brian. We really appreciate it. Thanks to my audience for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, youtube.com/Chris Voss. Hit the bell notification button. Feel like you've achieved something, go download all the apps we referenced today. You can find links in the Chris Voss Show. Also go to LinkedIn. There's so much stuff we have going on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's like the only place that isn't insane and crazy right now with Elon Musk trying to do whatever he's doing over there on Twitter. It's like a crapshoot to see how fast he can burn through so much money before 48. I think they're burning $1 billion a month or $1 billion a year in annual service. The 48 billion they paid for that turd, and it's only worth like a 15 billion. So it's going to be interesting to see what sort of game he plays with that and how it comes out, or if it comes out, or I don't know. We'll see how it comes out. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time.